On a warm July morning in 1944, a briefcase changed the course of history. Operation Valkyrie, a daring plot hatched deep within Hitler's own ranks, was more than just a plan to kill a dictator. It was the desperate hope of a fractured Germany, grasping for its last chance to stop the madness of war. But how did a circle of high-ranking Nazis transform into assassins? The conspiracy's heart was Colonel Claus von Stauffenberg, an aristocratic war hero who'd sacrificed an eye and a hand for Germany, yet saw only ruin in Hitler's path. Quietly, Stauffenberg and his allies rewrote the secret Valkyrie Order, which was designed to maintain order in case of internal revolt. Instead, they twisted it to seize control of Berlin if Hitler fell. This was high treason, punishable by death. Even a whisper could mean execution. Still, more than 200 officers, politicians, and civilians joined, risking everything. Among them, General Ludwig Beck, the former chief of staff, Colonel General Friedrich Olbricht, who held the puppet strings of the German Reserve Army, and even Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, the legendary Desert Fox, who expressed support for ending Hitler's reign. The plan: assassinate Hitler at his Wolf's Lair headquarters, then activate Valkyrie to seize cities and arrest Nazi SS leaders, passing everything off as a rescue of the nation from coup plotters. July 20th, 1944. Stauffenberg enters the Wolf's Lair, briefcase in hand. Sweat beads his brow. He places the bomb beneath the oak conference table, just meters from Adolf Hitler. He leaves the room on a pretense. Seconds tick by. At precisely 12:42 p.m., an explosion rips through the hut. Smoke and chaos. 4 men are killed, but Hitler survives, bruised, dazed, ears ringing, but impossibly alive. What went wrong? Fate and a detail missed. The heavy oak table had absorbed much of the blast. Just as Stauffenberg left, Colonel Heinz Brandt unknowingly nudged the briefcase further from Hitler with his foot. Believing Hitler was dead, Stauffenberg hurried back to Berlin, triggering Operation Valkyrie. Reserve Army officers began arresting SS and Nazi officials. For several tense hours, the fate of Germany hung in the balance. But the illusion unraveled fast. News trickled in. The Führer lived. Propaganda Minister Joseph Goebbels broadcast Hitler's survival. Loyalty to the Nazi regime surged back. Some conspirators lost their nerve. Others fought on for hours. By midnight, the coup was crushed. Stauffenberg and his close circle were arrested, dragged into the courtyard at the Bendler block, and executed that very night. Stauffenberg's final words: "Long live our sacred Germany." In the following days, 7,000 people were arrested. Nearly 5,000 were killed, hanged, shot, or sent to camps. Some, like General Beck, took their own lives. Others, such as Rommel, were given a grim choice: suicide or a show trial that would endanger their families. Why did Operation Valkyrie matter, even in failure? The world saw that not all Germans followed Hitler blindly. Inside his empire, some risked everything for conscience. Valkyrie's legacy is a reminder. Sometimes the greatest courage comes not from fighting the enemy, but from standing up to your own. The plot to kill Hitler failed, but its echoes still haunt history. In a world of dictators and silence, the conspiracy endures as proof that resistance is always possible. But imagine, what if that briefcase hadn't been moved? Would Europe's fate, and ours, have changed forever?